Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So we are going over US Weekly's Reality Stars of the Year. Today we are going to be talking about Ariana Madix, who got the Breakout Star of the Year. But there are some other Bravo celebrities that I will be talking about, and I just want to give you a heads up. So US Weekly also nominated Kyle Richard as the original. So we will be talking about her article, as well as Jenna Lyons, who US Weekly named her as the Gatecrasher. Which, if you don't know what a gatecrasher is, it's a person who enters or attends or participates without a ticket or invitation. A gatecrasher. That is so Jenna Lyons. I love it. And she can gatecrash anyone's party. And then next up, we have Captain Jason from Below Deck Down Under as the Guardian. But let's get into our girl, Ariana Madix. But stay tuned for all the rest. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I post a new video or go live. You don't want to miss the other US Weekly articles that I'm going to be talking about. Now, let's get into this article. All right, this is the US Weekly article on Ariana Madix, where it is titled Reality Star of the Year, Ariana Madix on Surviving Heartache, Dancing with the Stars, and Finding Love Again. Now, it begins with, in early March, Ariana Madix's world turned upside down when it was revealed that her boyfriend of 9 years, Tom Sandoval, was cheating on her with her closest friend and fellow Vanderpump Rules co-star, Raquel Leviss. What followed was a surreal chain of events for Madix as Scandoval gripped the nation, setting social media ablaze and breathing new life into Bravo reality series. A longtime fan favorite thanks to her refreshing mix of girl energy and vulnerability, Madix was suddenly the TV star everyone everywhere was rooting for. As the demise of her relationship played out IRL on the show, production of season 10 resumed as soon as the news broke. The Florida native, 38, released breakup merch, was cast in a Lifetime movie, and even got invited to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Her now iconic confrontation with Scandoval during the final season finale was a masterclass in badassery, and in September, it was announced that she was going to be joining season 32 of Dancing with the Stars. 8 months after the drama unfolded, Madix, who's been dating New York-based fitness coach David Way since April, says she feels more confident than ever and is focused on looking forward. This situation made me realize that I can do hard things, she tells us. The worst case scenario literally did happen, and I was okay. Like, look, you can handle what's thrown at you. Madix sat down with us on the set of her cover shoot in LA to talk about what's next for her. Now, here we go into the questions. Were you aware of how big Scandoval was when it was happening? I was off social media initially, so friends filled me in here and there. I was like, this is crazy. But it was all happening in the midst of not eating and not sleeping. It was a weird juxtaposition of emotions and feelings. The next question is there a moment from that time that stands out? She says, I can't believe there was a mention during the White House Correspondents' Dinner. The president heard it. I was like, that's awesome. Have your feelings towards Tom and Rachel changed? No, she answered. Fans really embraced you in the wake of the scandal. Has it been nice to connect to them in a new way? She says, it's incredible. Sometimes I'll go to the mall and meet someone who's been through a similar situation, and then we'll be talking in the middle of Sephora and crying and hugging each other. The next question says, this deeply personal scenario gave VPR a huge boost. How does that feel? She says, I know it's a show and it's very entertaining, and I'm happy about that, but it's also my real life. Sometimes the line is blurred, but of course, I want the show to do well. Duh, why wouldn't she? The next question was, of course, how's Dancing with the Stars going? And she says, I'm having the best time. If I could do rehearsals and performances every day for the rest of my life, I'd be happy. I find it so rewarding and fun. What's been the hardest part? And she says, the wear and tear on the body. Regardless of being in shape or not, you're not dancing in heels every day. That starts to affect you in ways you didn't expect. It's intense. I spent a lot of time icing my feet at home. Girl, I can understand that. The next question is, has anything surprised you about the experience? And she says, it doesn't feel like a competition, but more like this fun thing that we're all doing together, that we're lucky to experience. The cast, the pros, the crew included. Who's your biggest competition? And she says, I am. I can't be Lily or 17-year-old Sachi. I can only be 38-year-old Ariana Madix. I'm just trying to be the best version of myself, stay in my lane, and keep my eyes on my own paper. The next question says, who have you gotten close with? And she responds, I've really connected with Lily. We're very similar, and she's just so fun. Barry Williams is so lovely. I've made friends with some of the pros too. There isn't anyone I don't love. Has dancing changed how you feel about yourself? And she says, if you were to put me in my samba outfit 3 months ago, okay, go have lunch in this on Vanderpump Rules, I would have been really self-conscious. But I'm focused more on what I am doing and less on how I look. And that's different for sure. They say you have a lot going on with Dancing with the Stars, filming VPR, and your sandwich shop with castmate Katie Malone. How do you balance it all? And she says, I'm not balancing anything. I'm on the verge of falling apart at all times. No, I mean, when it's time to rest, I make sure I truly rest. I have no social life right now. I don't remember what it's like to go to a bar. The next question says, what do you do for self-care? And she says, sleep. And honestly, being outside and cuddling with my animals and getting to spend time with my friends and family is the best. The next question says, you've said you go to therapy. Did that help after the breakup? And she responds, therapy helped 100%. Some of the work I've been doing in therapy right before all of this set me up to be in a much better position. I could have been so much worse. How are things with Daniel? Are you exclusive? She says we are. How does it feel to have him flying to see you on Dancing with the Stars every week? And she says, it's awesome. He's incredibly supportive. He sacrifices his sleep and time to help me with anything I need. And then he takes a red eye back and goes straight to work. This person says, sounds like a keeper. And she responds, he'll clean up things that are left out and does little things you really don't think about. When I come home from the show and everything's clean and there's food in the fridge that he made me, it's like, wow, that's so nice. The next question says, were you nervous about getting into another relationship? And she says, I'm nervous about everything all the time. It's part of my personality. Now, you've talked about not being into the idea of marriage. Do you think that will change? And she says, I don't know. They ask, you opened up about your fertility journey on VPR. What's the latest with your frozen eggs? And she says, well, they're still on ice. That's good. The next question says, do you have plans to do anything with them? And she says, not yet. The next question says, during season 1 of VPR, you were hesitant to be on camera. What advice would you go back and give that version of Ariana? And she says, don't date abusive men who won't let you shine and be on a TV show, because that's what's going on and why I didn't want to be on camera. Ooh, interesting. The next question says, how have you changed since the show began in 2013? Oh my gosh, that was a long time ago. God damn. And she says, I've grown up. I'm someone who never really wanted to grow up. But over time, I've been able to love myself more and give myself a lot more grace when it comes to things we go through during filming. And that has allowed me to give others more grace. Would you ever do your own spinoff series? And she said, sure, why not? I'd bring all the girls and James Kennedy. You're closest with Lala, Sheena Shea, and Katie. How did they support you through everything that you've experienced? And Ariana says, they've been there for me physically in the sense of coming over or giving me a place to go and giving me advice and being there to cheer me up. Were you surprised by anyone's support? And she said, nobody surprised me. It's been exactly what you think. The next question says, you have a new book called Single AF Cocktails coming out December 5th. What was your inspiration? And she said, I was inspired by Beyonce, Taylor Swift, and Casey McGraze to put all of it out there in an almost breakup album style. I've always expressed myself through creative outlets. I'd love to do other kinds of books too. What's your signature cocktail? You got to ask that question when you have a cocktail book. And she says, a Mezcal Palmal. That's my shit right there. Next question says, you used to bartend at hot spots in New York City. Any memorable celebrity encounters? And she says, at Butler, we saw everybody. Kanye West, LeBron James used to come in together. Leonardo DiCaprio was friends with the owner, so he used to come in a lot. As an elderly millennial, I was obsessed. I would walk by his table so slowly, just like, notice me. I'm from a small town in Florida. I can't believe he was there. Next question says, is it true you lived out of your car when you first moved to LA? And she says, I was living with a friend who decided not to renew their lease at the last minute. I didn't have anywhere to go and I didn't have any money. I was in and out of my car and couch surfing. I ended up getting into a really bad relationship because the guy had said I could stay with him. Back then, did you imagine you'd find stardom that you have now? And she said, absolutely not. I was just hoping at some point I could have steady acting work and be able to pay bills. I still have that mindset in the sense that if I don't take a job or don't say yes to things, I'll be back in that position. It's not like working in a bank, which is straightforward. Things are always up in the air in the world, and that is so true. The next question says, do you have any other goals? And she says, owning my own home and being on Broadway. I dreamed about that when I was a little kid and still do. I'd love to host my own dating show, specifically a queer dating show. There needs to be more of that. Are there any other reality shows you'd like to try out? And she said, I'd love to be a judge on Top Chef because I really love to eat. The next question says, what about more acting? And she said, oh, obviously, I want to do everything. where do you see yourself in 10 years? And she says, oh man, I'd love to be living in Ojai, California, and have goats and a small but successful goat cheese business. It sounds so good, right? What do you want your reality TV legacy to be? And she said, for everyone who comes on reality TV to be able to be themselves, whether or not it makes them a good reality star. A lot of people might consider me somewhat bad at my job, but I feel like that's what makes me me. And that's it for this USA Weekly article. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you think about it. I think some of these outlets are also getting confused when she answered the question about being first on reality TV and what would she say to herself. And she talks about don't date abusive men. I don't think necessarily she was talking about Tom Sandoval in this. She was dating a guy previous to dating Tom Sandoval. If you do recall, that was season 1 of VPR. So I do not think this was about Tom Sandoval. And I think people may be getting a little confused there. But other than that, what do you think about this article? I think she did a killer job. She answered it so truthfully and honestly and just impressed me with everything that she had to say. And I always just wish the best of luck for her. She's an incredible gal. I've loved her from the start, and I just want to see her keep growing in her success. Let me know down below and make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Bye, everyone.
Never break, always fight, never quit.